Hello friends, welcome to my channel Ideas for GD. Today we'll discuss about poverty in India. So what is poverty? Poverty is a situation in the life of a person in which he is not able to fulfill his basic needs like food, clothes and shelter. Government uses a survey to identify the number of poor people in India. Accordingly, they provide assistance in the country. So this is called below poverty line. So as the assistant given to the poor people, government provide 972 rupees per month for a family of four people living in rural areas, and 1407 rupees per month to a family of four members staying in urban areas. So now we will talk about the current situation in India. As per the data, 415 million of people exited the poverty line last year. It means that the in uh, people are exiting the poverty below poverty line and coming to a new line in which their living standard is getting better. According to a survey, extreme poverty is 0.86% in India in rural areas in 2020. 16.4% of India's total population is still under the poverty. It is the data of 2019 to 21. In India, 228 million poor people are staying, which is the world's highest number of people who are under poverty. And next to India, Nigeria is second, in which 96.7 million people are staying in poverty. In India, out of 228.9 million people, 97 millions are children who are staying in below poverty line. And poverty reduction, the poverty is reduced in India from 51.1% to 16.4% in 2019 to 21 data, and it was 51.1% in 2005 to 6. It means that India is in the way to exit the poverty line, and and the standard of the living of people are enhanced. We can say that it is better in comparison to the previous times. And moreover, COVID-19 in the year 2020, the it also affected the standard of the people. There are many people who lost their jobs, and their running businesses are stopped or closed. So COVID-19 is also affecting the people from getting a better quality of life. Due to the COVID-19, 90% of the people are are working in unorganized sector with no job security because they lost their jobs in COVID-19. Now we'll talk about the challenges which we are facing from coming out of the poverty line in India. So if you talk about poverty, poverty is not in a particular area or in particular state. It is it is spread in the country. Okay, so it is very difficult to give a particular solution to the poverty because poverty is spread in all over the country, and the schemes given by the state government are different in different states. So it is very difficult to provide a solution to it. And second thing is 90% of the people lives in rural areas, so it is very difficult to create jobs for them and help in coming out from the poverty. And if you talk about the education system in our country, it is not as good as it should be because the education system should be such that it should teach the students the demand, the future demand, so that after completing the education, the children or the students can find the jobs for their future. But in our education system, There is nothing like that. Students are unable to get jobs after completing their studies, so we have to reform our education system. And the next thing is that medical care. If we talk about the medical care in our country, it is also very expensive. If a person is earning a good salary or medium salary, and they are living, but if there is any injury happen to anyone in his family, or any type of illness, it is very expensive. So in many cases it is seen that the the money earned by a people, by a person in his whole life, is invested in the treatment of his loved ones. So we can say that the medical care is very expensive. And uh, and if we talk about the corruption, it is also a very serious issue which is restricting us from coming out of the poverty. Like in many type of schemes provided by the government, people are corrupted. Government people are also corrupted. They are taking money from the poor people to give that services to them, and due to that many deserving poor people are not getting the basic facilities provided by the government. So this is also restricting the process of getting the people outside out the poverty. And government is not including the consumption expenditure survey. Government is not conducting the consumption expenditure survey. It was lastly conducted on 2017 to 18. This is a survey which is conducted by the government to know the expenditure of the uh, goods in today's time. It is to be conducted to compare the previous expense ratio and nowadays. Accordingly, government decides how much or which type of assistance government has to provide to the poor people to bring out of the poverty. Now we will talk about the steps taken by the government to reduce the poverty in India. There are many type of schemes which are provided by the government, like Narega. Narega is a scheme in which in rural areas government is providing 100 days wages to a family of 4 member in a year. The next is National Food Security Act. In this scheme, government is providing foods to the poor people who are unable to get foods in by their income source. The other one is PMGAY, Pradhan Mantri Gramin Awas Yojana. According to as per this scheme, government is providing homes to the poor people to stay. And government is also providing scheme in education system, the new education policy 2022. The aim of this policy is to reform the or to transform the previous education system and teach the students new skills which will help them to find better jobs for their livelihood. And the other one is Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana is a bank account which is opened for the people by the government of India to provide the assistant basic assistance, that is in the form of money, that will be direct transferred to the account holder from the government. There will be no middleman in the government. There will be no middleman in between the government and the poor people or the deserving people. So these are the points included in this topic. Now we'll talk about the conclusion. Government is taking many steps in the reduction of poverty in India, but we have to fine tune and find the root cause of the poverty, and accordingly if we will take actions, then it will be easy uh, to work on it to reduce the poverty in India. Because we are not knowing the exact reason right now, what's the reason for the poverty, and we are working on it. So first we have to find the root cause, and then after we will we will get the exact solution of it. So that's it from my side. Thank you.